This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to Week 4 edition of Primetime Blitz, brought to you by C2C Network, Coast to Coast. If you guys don't know, I'm the host, Big B, alongside my fellow co-host, up above me, the crispy one, Crispy Bacon. How you doing?
I am doing good. It's been a fun and interesting NFL season, and hopefully the entertainment continues.
All right, kitty corner to my up there, the master of the lock, I guess, right now. He's 3-0 with his locks. The rookie, Kevin. How you doing?
Doing pretty well.
All right. And next to me, my co-host, C2C Rankum, the owner of the only 3-0 record amongst these four people. Tim, how you doing, Primus?
Doing good. What can you say? You get excited when you're 3-0. We haven't been 3-0 since 2009, and when we went 14-0. We're not going 14-0 because we've got a tough week. Week 3 has been exciting. You know, week 1, 2, and 3 have been exciting. Now we're at week 4 where everything is getting more exciting and getting closer to those teams getting their bubbles popped, and the 72 Dolphins looking to get ready to open some more champagne.
Yeah, there's 7 teams undefeated still?
Yep.
6 or 7? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, let's do our little recap of our teams, and if anything's, and then we'll do a little what spotted our eyes last few weeks. But Crispy, what happened to your Cowboys?
I think the Cowboys went in hibernation more than the Bears did, because that was not what week 2 Cowboys did, although it was against the Giants in week 2. But CeeDee Lamb getting hurt, that didn't help.
Yeah.
Aubrey taking 2 field goals, that did okay. We did tie it up with the 2-point conversion, and then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah. How did Clowney do his first action? Did he get any action, I guess I should say?
No, he was sidelined.
Oh, he was?
He did not play.
Okay, so expect a Clowney sighting this week. All right. Well, Kevin, your Bears shocked the world, I guess, in Chicago. What was your thoughts on that?
Well, the fact that I took them to lose and sound like an idiot last week saying the Bears were going to lose by 14 plus. Well, instead, they must have been watching our show and like, all right, you know what, screw this guy. We're going to go win by 17 plus. But, for once, Caleb Williams gave me hope that he could be actually a good quarterback. Unlike I've been saying for the last 2 years. I'm like, you know what? I don't want this guy. I hate him. All that stuff. Luther Burden got some good action. He looked pretty good for once. I think he'll get a bigger role now. It sounds like the Bears are trying to ship out DJ Moore.
Really?
Yeah, I heard some speculation around wanting to get him out. Sounds like they want to run it with Rome Odunze. Which, I mean, I'm not too upset about, I guess, mostly because if you have DJ Moore in fantasy, he's not doing you a damn thing. He did get you a touchdown, but that's literally all he has done. Our defense, on the other hand, solid once again. Can't complain there. And then
Well, then he just left. All right.
Uh,
All right. So, and then that didn't like his explanation there. But so I'll leave the.
let him
All right,
finish.
you're back. All right. Go ahead. Keep going where you left off.
I was saying that Dak Prescott looked like the Jake Browning from the Vikings game.
All right. Yeah, speaking, we'll leave the 3-0 to close out our segment here. But Vikings, they showed up. The defense showed up. Wentz played, a great game. He moved the ball up and down the field. I made the comment, and I know you guys are probably, a couple of you guys probably didn't know what I meant, but Mason, he runs mean, angry, however you guys want to put it. That guy has a burst of speed, doesn't stop. So I'm glad. I hope he gets a lot more carries. Not that I don't like Aaron Jones, but I think Mason's going to be definitely a switch to watch, and I hope he just keeps going. Wentz, I know McCarthy's come out and said, or not McCarthy, but O'Connell came out and said that McCarthy's still his guy, but if Wentz keeps winning and puts up some decent numbers over the next 3 weeks with the bye week, it'd be hard to go back to him. As much as I want McCarthy and a young quarterback to take over this team, it's going to be hard for me to be okay with going back to McCarthy. So, but with that being said, the defense played awesome. 2 turnovers, a few forced fumbles. That's the defense I've been waiting for week 1, 2, and 3. I told Tim and couple of our C2C shows that this defense is going to be scary, and that's the defense I was waiting for. So, all right, Tim, you can brag about your 3-0 team. I see you didn't bring the crown, but
no crown.
brag about your 3-0 team.
No crown. I'm not going to brag about the 3-0 team because we beat 2 teams that we should have beaten pretty handedly. Last week, we start the game off by picking off Cam Ward for a touchdown, and then it was just basically a snowball down a hill, and it just didn't even look pretty. I heard some reports out of Indianapolis saying that the Titans didn't look like they were ready to play the game. I don't know. I think Cam Ward is going to be something. I saw flashes of what Cam Ward could be. Our defense, I never thought I'd say it because I'm always used to our defense as being middle of the road too. And this is legit defense. The offense, I'm used to offenses with the Colts because the Colts seemed to for the longest time under Peyton Manning and a little bit under Andrew Luck when we had him was always top 5, top 6 in the league. It was a fun game to watch. It's a fun time to be a Colts fan, even though, I was the guy who cringed thinking we got Danny Dimes, and all of a sudden he's turned into Henry Indiana Jones himself. It's been a weird ride. I'm not the guy that's going to be jumping off the cliff anytime soon, thinking that this is going to be a forever thing because we've got the Rams this week. We lost Alex Pierce to a concussion. When I watched him try to make that catch, his head bounced off the turf, and it looked as bad as it sounded. We lost Kenny Moore with an Achilles injury, but it's not a tear. He's only out 4 weeks, so Indy goes up and signs a cornerback out of free agency, the Mike Helton that used to play under our defensive coordinator when he was a defensive coordinator in Cincinnati. Everything's looking up. We have Jonathan Taylor, who basically is been the AFC player of the month, offensive player of the month, because he's won AFC player of the week, offensive player of the week, back-to-back weeks. We got the number 1 running back. We got the number 3 quarterback. which I don't think anybody anybody in the New York Giants organization would think that was even possible, that our quarterback would be number 3 in the league. It's been impressive, but the real tests start coming up. We got the Rams this week. We've got the Chargers in 3. And we've got Chargers in 3. We got Raiders in 2. It's going to be fun, but we've got a lot of tests ahead of us.
All right. So before we get to our next topic, 3 weeks in, guys, some surprises, good or bad. What stood out? Kevin, I'll let you take the floor. Outside of your team, what stuck out to you for the first couple weeks?
I didn't get the first 3 weeks, but I did get last week. I picked up on some stuff.
Okay.
The Dolphins showed promise. They showed that they could win some games. And they weren't like their opening, how they opened up the season. You had four, I guess 3 huge injuries. You got the Nick Bosa season ender. You got the James Conner season ender. You got Najee Harris season ending. And then you got the CeeDee Lamb with a high ankle sprain, which is going to be, probably about 4 weeks. You get the Panthers. I'm pretty sure out of us 4, I'm the only one who took the Panthers last week to win. And a 30-0 shutout against the Falcons. Like I said, I'm high on the Panthers and the Jags this year. So, that's what I picked up from, this week. But yeah.
All right, Crispy, anything you picked up, like I said, good or bad, the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, Buffalo's really good at 3-0. You got Kansas City that won their first game last week, but has been kind of, struggling. And then you have the Ravens have been, up and down. You got the Falcons who got rid of their kicker, but yet they still have problems kicking.
All right. Yeah, and Wu signed with the Giants, I think it was, I saw. So,
Yeah.
Tim, over the last few weeks, what have you noticed?
The Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns legitimately could be 2-1 right now.
Yep.
For week 1, they lose to the Bengals by 1 point. Then they got destroyed by the Ravens week 2, and then they do the unthinkable by beating Green Bay in the last second of that game. I don't think we should be and this is going to be really weird. Here comes that hot take of the week for Tim. I don't think we should be sleeping on the Cleveland Browns anytime soon, because they're in most of their games. I think they give themselves hope, and in the NFL, hope is dangerous.
All right. Anything else, Tim?
Nah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, you just froze there. So I was just wondering. For me, like Chris said, Bills look pretty good. Dolphins kind of look like, they got some hope with Tua. I agree with Tim. We're a few plays away, talking about the Browns being 2-1, maybe even better. The North is still going to be a strong division, even though they lost a few spots, or lost a few games over the last couple of weeks. So we got Mess Around here. How you doing, Mess Around?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing okay.
Good.
So before we get into a couple topics, hey, your Bears had a good game. I know you and Kevin are celebrating, toasting. What's your thoughts on that Bears victory?
Yeah, it's the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys. Their defense is atrocious. I mean, they did what they needed to do. They got on the board within the win column. Caleb looked good. Ben Johnson's offense looked good, but again, Dallas defense. We'll see what they do. against the Raiders, who have a better defense.
So I got to ask you, myself. I should ask Kevin. Kevin, you can answer too. Are you more happy that the Bears won or the Packers got beat by the Browns?
Packers lost.
Any day that the Packers lose is a good day. And
Yeah.
any day that the Bears win and the Packers lose, an even better day.
Yeah, I would say that. If the Bears win, Packers lose, that's a 2-0 victory right there.
That's right.
All
Hey,
right.
hey, just remember, you got to root for Dallas this week.
Oh, yeah, that's going to scare some people. So, all right, let's get into Kevin's one tough question.
All right.
You got to come up with a name for this segment too, by the way, guys. Something catchy.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, one tough question this week.
I went with which teams are most vulnerable with their current injury situation.
Oh. Ooh, that's a good one. Tim, I'll defer to you right now on that one.
Cincinnati. I think, I thought I think I made the comment before on different. I think I made the comment last year where Jake Browning was like Joe Burrow light, and then turned around. Joe Burrow light looked like somebody else, looked like Woodstock holding a football from Snoopy. I think I honestly think the Bengals missed the playoffs this year just because they don't have Burrow back there.
Wow. Okay, that's a big take there. Mess around. Your answer to Kevin's one tough question there.
Easy, it's the Niners. With Bosa being out for the year, Brock Purdy, I don't know if he's going to play this weekend, and then Brandon Ayuk's been out all year. That team's just riddled with injuries, and they have been for the last several years. So I'm going to go with Niners.
Chris, who's your team?
I would have to say, other than mine, probably 49ers.
Okay, yeah, I got to go. I honestly, both teams that were thrown out there, I think, are really hurting. I think it's definitely a toss-up between, the Bengals with Burrow out. Niners are just floating. I think I saw a meme that they had like 5 people laying in the IR in the hospital beds. So, yeah, I give it a slight lean to the Niners. Got a lot of questions there, especially their team's built around for, Purdy's game, knowledge. So we'll see where they flex out with Mac Jones there. So, Kevin, what's your answer?
Yeah, I have to agree with, 3 of you. I got to go the 49ers. But there are plenty of teams that had some big injuries happen to them that could affect them, like the Bears. They lost Jalen Johnson for the year. The Cardinals, they lost their run game. James Conner's out. We'll see how good Trey Benson can be. CeeDee Lamb cost, him being out 4 weeks. But, like you guys said, Nick Bosa, their best defensive player, being out for the year. You got George Kittle. You got Brandon Ayuk. You got both their quarterbacks are questionable right now. Mac Jones and Brock Purdy are both questionable.
Oh, really? Okay, I did not know that.
So, and they were both limited today at practice, but it says that Brock Purdy is on track to start week 4. But, there's so many injuries there, and you never know on that team. That man's injury prone too. So
who's riding high at number 3 there for them?
What?
You look. Who's your backup?
I looked it up, and I think it's someone off a practice squad. I don't even remember.
Right.
Yeah, you looked it up. Yes, I think it was yesterday or the day. I think it was like Monday. We looked it up,
and it was like a practice squad guy.
Yeah,
but I'm banking on Brock Purdy playing this week. It says that he should be good to go. It says he's recovering pretty quick, so I would count on Brock Purdy probably playing this week.
Oh, they
cool.
Wow, yeah, they really got some quarterback issues.
Well, I'm looking at this going. They've got Purdy is questionable. Mac Jones is questionable. Their third string is out.
I was just going to say that the third string is listed as out right now.
I don't even know who's on their bench on their practice squad.
Yeah, that's the 3 quarterbacks I see listed right now. So,
So they're having to get somebody from practice squad, and it's funny that the whole emergency backup quarterback situation is because of the 49ers, and they're almost in the same situation.
Right. Exactly.
well, I know if they make a call to Tim, I bet you he'd be willing to trade AR to him for some picks.
Yeah. I'd like a nice 4th round pick. That's it. Nothing huge.
All right. So, Professor Chris, what's our history lesson this week?
So I got 2, but it's in around the same game, Packers and Cowboys. Packers are coming in the AT&T this week, and unfortunately, the Packers have been successful in the last 5 meetings, going 5-0 at AT&T so far. And we know that Michael Parsons is wearing number 1. Last person to wear that number for Green Bay is Curly Lambeau.
Yeah, we won't mention somebody missed him on his list today, but
I wouldn't know who that is.
what's your other one?
It was kind of that; those were the 2.
Oh,
The AT&T stat for Green Bay, and then
gotcha.
the jersey number.
Okay, gotcha. So I have one. I thought I sent it to you, Chris. But let me pull it up. I gotta find it quickly here. So today's the 24th. So on this date, this was yesterday. What?
It's 25th for me.
Well, it's 25th for you. But anyway, September 23rd, 2001. Tom Brady subs in for Drew Bledsoe's, because he sustained an injury. So that was one. I thought I sent it to you, but maybe I didn't. But
No,
anyway,
I didn't know it was that day. Wow.
yeah. All right. So we got our picks coming up. We're in week 4. Just to let everybody know what their standings are. We got Kevin, 33 and 15. He's hit all 3 of his locks. He's tied with me with 33-15. I've only hit 1 lock. Chris is 30 and 18, has not hit a lock yet. Tim is 29-19. He's hit 2 locks. And if anybody's keeping track based on the point spread, ESPN is 37-3, and they've hit 3 of their big point spreads. So, all right. So, can't wait to hear Mess Around's picks this week. Hopefully, get them all this week.
We're on track. We're on track to ESPN.
All right. So, the first game, Thursday night, tomorrow, we got the 2-1 Seattle Seahawks taking on the Cardinals at 2-1. Seattle's favored by 1.5. Mess Around, we'll start with you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Seahawks. I never have really trusted Kyler Murray, the little garden gnome.
We're going Seahawks. Kevin.
Without James Conner, I just don't see them being competitive. I mean, their passing game's not really that great. Right. I mean, they got the weapons. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't trust Murray. Seahawks.
All right, Kevin.
Yeah, I have the Seahawks as well in this game.
Tim?
Yeah, I'm not with everybody on this one. I'm interested to see what Benson can do against the 7th best rushing defense in the league. I just don't trust Seattle's offense. That's my problem. I thought the Sam Darnold experiment was going to be a little better, and it really hasn't been. I've got the Arizona Cardinals.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm with Tim here. I got Arizona as well by 3.
All right. Yeah, I got the Cardinals, and you guys know my picks. If it's a close game, I'm typically taking the home team on this one, especially short week travel. let the Cardinals take their bidding. So, all right, 8:00 in the morning, my time and Chris's time. Tim, this is your primetime game. We got the Minnesota Vikings 2.5, 2-1, 2.5 point favorites versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, also 2-1. Kevin, who are we taking?
Here's your surprise, Brandon. You ready?
All right.
As you guys can tell, I'm wearing a Vikings jersey today. Couldn't find my Bears jersey. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the Steelers for the upset.
Ooh. Steelers for the upset. Tim.
Yeah, I'm liking this defense against the Steelers offense. The Steelers offense, we figured you get Aaron Rodgers and he'd be better, but that's still the 30th best offense in the league against the 6th best defense in the league. I think it's Minnesota, and I think it's by 10.
All right, Chris.
I got faith in Minnesota.
All right. Yeah, I'm that defense shows me what they did last week. This is going to be a walk in the park. Also, knocking on wood, Vikings are undefeated overseas. Mess around.
I called it the opposite. I said Aaron Rodgers is going to steal it. Called it. Knew that's where he's going to go. The obvious choice. But Aaron Rodgers always plays well against the Vikings, and I don't see it being any different this weekend. I think puts up 4 touchdowns in Minnesota to win.
Pittsburgh and 4 touchdowns. Mess around. You're my least favorite person right now.
All
right. So we get to the afternoon games. We got the 2-1 Commanders versus Atlanta 1-2. With the Commanders a 1.5 point favorite. Tim, who do you have?
I think it's 1.5 because they're not sure if Daniels is going to play. I really don't trust the Falcons. You let 30 points go against the Panthers and don't score. I think Bacon said it best. You let your kicker go and you still can't kick. You kind of pretty much answer your own question there. I've got the Commanders. Even if they don't start Daniels, I think the Commanders win this game.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Tim here. I got Washington. Falcons were not too entertaining last week, to say the least.
All right. So you're going Commanders, Chris?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I'm going with Atlanta again. I think Penix is going to be on a short leash. I think Kurt's going to be sitting there waiting. Penix struggles again. You don't know if Daniels is playing, so I'm going to go Atlanta with the slight upset there. Mess around.
Well, for me, it's who do I trust more, Mariota or Phoenix Jr.? I trust Mariota. If Daniels can't go, I trust Marcus more than I trust Phoenix. So I'm taking the Commanders because of that reason.
All right, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a 4v1 there. I'm gonna go the Commanders, mostly because of the same stuff everybody's saying. You give up 30 points to the Panthers, even though I'm high on the Panthers, and your offense just looks like complete crap. I think with or without Jaden Daniels, they're winning this game by 7.
Gotcha. All right, so we got the 0-3 Saints versus the 3-0 Bills. Tim, the point spread I don't even have to talk about, but it is 15.5. But Tim,
you've got the number 1 defense going against the Saints, or number 1 offense going against the Saints. This is just a silly game, and Spencer Rattler's going to get a welcome to Buffalo because he's going to get slapped in the face because the Bills are going to just beat the living tar out of that guy. I can't even be high on the Saints. I was high last week when I took him to beat beat the Seahawks last week, and that worked out well in my favor. I've got the Bills, and it's really not going to be pretty.
Chris?
Yeah, I got Buffalo as well. The Saints have been struggling this year. I'm not sure how long they're going to keep Kellen Moore as their head coach, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, that's a big talker coming,
Yeah.
there. So mess around. Who you got, Bills or Saints?
Oh man, really? I don't even think this is going to be a competitive game. I would be surprised if they put up a 60 spot on the Saints.
All right. I'm going Bills too, by the way. I skipped my pick. I'm going Bills. Kevin?
I think you could start Mitch Trubisky and still win this game. So I'm taking the
Oh,
Bills.
we could see some Trubisky action down the road. I mean, if this game is blown out. We got the 1-2 Browns versus the 2-1 Lions. 9.5-point favorites for the Lions. Chris, who do you have?
We mentioned how Cleveland's so close to winning these games, but I think it's something similar to what we just mentioned about Buffalo, how I think Detroit's going to outscore Cleveland, at least in this one. I'm going Detroit.
Yeah, if this was at Cleveland, I might swing with the home field advantage, but this is Detroit in Detroit. That defense, you talk about somebody that might get murdered. I mean, Flacco, gets hit hard, we're looking at backup. I'm going Lions. Mess around.
I rarely ever pick teams from my division. I'm not going to start now. I'm going to go with the Browns with the upset.
Browns with the upset. Kevin, who looks like he might be away for. Oh, he's back. Kevin?
I'm taking the Lions, but I'm taking the the Browns are going to cover.
So you're not taking the Lions, but you're not taking the Browns to win. Okay.
I'm taking the Lions
Tie
to
game.
win. I'm taking the Lions to win, but I'm taking them to not win by 9.5.
Oh, yeah. No, I got what you meant. I'll just mess with you. All right, Tim.
So, who's the number one defense in the NFL? Anybody know? I do.
Detroit.
Cleveland. So I am not taking Cleveland, but this I said it last week about Green Bay playing down to Cleveland. That game being close. I think this is going to be a lot closer. I'm like Kevin. I'm taking the Lions, but I think the point. I think the point spread is completely overblown on this one. I think this is going to be a close game too. I think this is going to be within a touchdown.
Wow. I didn't know Cleveland's defense was number one.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. All right, we got the 1-2 Panthers versus the 1-2 Patriots. Patriots are favored by 5.5. I'm taking the Patriots in this one. I still got to see some more out of, the Panthers and, their young quarterback and their defense. Not saying the Patriots are any better because I still need to see a lot of their young team. But being at home, I'm going with the Patriots. Mess around.
I'm going to take the Patriots. Bryce Young he needs to show more. I mean, he's played well the end of last year and he struggled so far this year. So I trust Drake May more than I trust Bryce Young.
All right, so going with the Pats. Kevin.
I did it last week. I'm going to do it again. I'm taking the Panthers.
All right, Panthers. Tim.
Yeah. I'm with Kevin on this. I saw a lot last week. I thought the Falcons were going to be so big, and then basically Papa Smurf behind the line there in Carolina decided to show up and play football. But the big key thing of that offense in Carolina is Chuba Hubbard. I think that kid's an absolute stud. I've got the Panthers. Oh, and by the way, the Bills are my lock this week.
Oh, shocker. I was wondering if everybody was going to take that big point spread as a lock.
Wait, so is that Primus? Is that going to be your first lock win, or do you already have one?
I've got
he
two.
has one. Chris is the only one without one.
Oh, okay. So Chris.
So Chris, speaking of that,
Yeah.
who are you taking, Panthers or Patriots?
I got the Patriots.
All right. All right.
Another thing to add to this game, Primus said the man Chuba Hubbard that he's. I need him to step it up in fantasy football. All right. I need a 3-touchdown game for 200 yards this game because that man, I traded for him, having trust in him, and he ain't done nothing.
All right, we got the 3-0 Chargers, 6.5-point favorites versus the New York Giants, who are 0-3. Mesron, I think I'm starting with you.
Jackson Dart. That's all I'm going to say. Upset.
Jeez. Okay.
All right, Jackson Dart. All right, Kevin.
No Giants, no anybody else. Just Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's going to win. That's it. Nobody else on that team. Not even Brian Scatabo, but just Jackson Dart.
All right, Kevin.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to take the Chargers streak to stay alive. I'm going to make them go 4-0.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, the Eli Manning Bowl here at this point. The Eli Manning
Kinda.
Phillip Rivers Bowl. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the Chargers are just too damn good at this point. Yeah, I've got the Chargers, and welcome to the NFL, Jackson, because you got to play Las Angeles, or Las Vegas, or wherever the Chargers are playing this week. Mexico City next week. Who knows?
All right, Chris.
There's going to be a power outage in LA because I got the Giants. And we'll make it a lock.
You're going Giants on a lock.
Wow.
I'm taking the upset too, guys. I think Dart's going to come out. We're going to see a different Giants team. I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's 6 points, but I'm going Giants too. I think Dart's going to get his first win with the team effort. You know, it's not just going to be Jackson Dart. So,
hey Kevin, you think we should start? Do you think we should start drug testing?
Yeah, I was thinking we should drug test Chris B. Bacon over there because a lock. Hold on. Let's just go back to his first lock of the season. He took the Saints, all right? And that was taking the Giants to beat the Chargers, who have clearly shown that Justin Herbert is the guy.
Well, here's the thing is, I've got if you've seen on deck, he's made some of the craziest moves I've ever seen. He took the Texas Rangers, and what did the Texas Rangers do that year? They won the World Series.
He's got that crystal ball somewhere hidden, I think.
Yeah,
he might be a time traveler.
No. He's got the NFL script over there, and he's not sharing.
Oh, that's what it is. All right, so we got a battle of unbeaten. Somebody's zero's got to go, kind of. We got the Eagles 3-0 with a 3.5-point favorite over the Buccaneers, who are also 3-0. Kevin, who are we taking?
You know, I think with the loss of Mike Evans, it's going to hurt the Bucs. Going to hurt them. So I'm going Eagles.
You're going Eagles. Well, that is right. Mike Evans is out. Tim.
Yeah, but they got Emeka Egbuka. Say that name 3 times fast, and all of a sudden Beetlejuice shows up. I think I almost had it last week until all of a sudden somebody let them off the hook. That the Eagles got lucky. They're not going to get lucky against the. They're not going to get lucky against the Buccaneers. I think J-Mac said it last week. They're 5 tush pushes away from being 0-3. at 0-2. Yeah, they should be 0-3 at that point. I've got Tampa Bay.
Chris?
I got Philadelphia.
Guess I'm getting drug tested this week.
No, I'm with you. I got Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is gonna Eagles, like we stated, J-Mac stated, they're a handful of tush push away from being 1-2 or 0-3. I'm going to Tampa Bay. Mess around.
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Whenever they play big teams, Baker Mayfield has big games, and I don't think it's any different this week. And that Tispo, speaking of that play, I've always thought that was like an illegal play. The linemen always dive at the defender's knees. It should be the chop block every time, and it's not called. In fact, they asked one of the officials that does the games with the broadcasters, and he's thought the same thing, and it's a safety thing, and it should be banned, but they just didn't get the votes.
I'm waiting for them to get some kind of very good technical cameras to really get on the line and see what the Eagles are doing. I think that's what they're kind of waiting for, because they keep showing the overhead view. You really can't see nothing. So
right. Well,
I really think the Eagles don't need the tush push. Do you remember who they have in their backfield?
Yeah.
You don't need the tush push. You got a freaking running back that could freaking squat and leg press more than Derrick Henry. Yep. And Derrick Henry is a huge human being. Just run the ball with your big boy in the back. He jumped over someone backwards last year. Come on now.
Yeah,
I heard.
But they're doing it out of spite for the other teams.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you're going to keep it in. We're going to keep using it.
They're waiting for somebody to stop it. That's what it is.
The official that was talking about brought up a good point. He said when the defenders gang tackle a guy and they drive him 10 yards back, they don't get the spot of the ball where the guy was driven back.
Yeah.
But the offense, when they're pushing forward and he keeps going, they get that spot.
Yeah, that is true. All right. So next game, we got a battle of 0-3 teams. We got the Titans 0-3 versus the Texans 0-3. Texans are favored by 2.5. Tim, who are you taking in this great battle?
This is one of those games where if the Titans Texans game was on the station, you're watching a movie. I think even if you're a fan of the Texans and the Titans, I still think you're going to go see a movie. This game is going to be terrible. You got 2.5. For some reason, mine says 7.5 for the Texans, but
maybe 7. I can't read my writing.
It's cool because even Vegas can't figure out what to do with this game. I've got the. Let me double check because I don't want to see if I've shot my mouth off. I've got the Texans. I think the Texans are going to finally wake up. The thing that hurt the Titans last week was the fact is, and this seemed like it was a recurring thing with the Packers was penalties, and Cleveland, Tennessee is probably the most penalized team in the league. You can't do that, and you can't do that against the Texans. I've got the Texans.
And you are right, Tim. ESPN has them at 7.5.
Okay.
Chris.
The Houston Texans versus the Houston Oilers, if you want to say it that way. Tennessee's technically Oilers. I got the Houston Texans.
All right, mess around.
Oh man, tough game to pick from. I mean, both quarterbacks. Cam Ward's a rookie. I know he's going to struggle because he's a rookie, but Stroud. There's so much hype about this guy. He won Rookie of the Year, and he played good. And last year he's garbage. He's kind of still not playing good. I'm going to go with the upset and take the Titans. I think Cam Ward's going to have a good game, the best game so far, and they win by a field goal at the end.
Yeah, I'm going Texans too. I think they're kind of going to pull together some kind of game plan. It may not look pretty, but they're going to do something. Kevin?
I've been looking at this game all week, and I keep psyching myself out if I'm going to take them as my lock or not this week. And then I did a lot of research, and I was like, all right, so this is pretty much a 50-50. It's going to come down to whoever's defense plays better. So I avoided it, and I'm not taking it as my lock, but I'm taking the Texans to win.
All right. So we got the battle of 3-0 Colts versus the 2-1 Rams. The Rams are favored by 3.5. Chris, who do you have?
I got the Rams winning this one.
All right. I am sticking. I think they're going to make it 4-0 here. I'm going with the Colts. Mess around.
I'm gonna ride the Danny Dimes train. I mean, he's playing really good football right now, but I'm just like we said about Bradford and can't remember the other guy, but we're just waiting for him to come. Darnold, rather waiting for him to come back down to earth, play like Sam Darnold plays, and I'm just waiting for the wheels to fall off on Danny Dimes because we all know it's eventually going to happen.
Yeah, Kevin.
I'm sorry, Tim, but I have to take the Rams to win this one.
All right, Tim.
All right. So you've got the first team offense in Indy, who's first in the league, tied with Buffalo, going up against the 8th best defense in the Rams. I think this game's going to be the game of the week. It's got all the potential. You've also got the fifth best offense in Los Angeles going against the 5th best defense in Indy. This is the true test. This is going to tell us exactly where Indy stands. I think this is the game that we need to know where we're going to be. I'm not. I was so pumped when I saw this game on the list after last week that we need that test. This is going to be a good game. I think this is going to be another one of those Denver Indy games from week 2. This has all the possibilities of being, I'm going to say it now, a potential Super Bowl matchup. I think it's got that possibility. It's going to be fun. You're going to have a quarterback that's with Stafford that's going to test that defense, that pass defense. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be fun, a fun game to watch. Hate to break everybody's hearts, but I don't think the Rams win this game, and I think this is going to be a 1 to 2 point game for Indy.
All right. We got the 2-1 Jags versus the 3-0 49ers. 49ers are favored by 3.5. Chris, who you take? Or Tim? No. You end it with Tim. It's me. Aha. All right, I got the 49ers. I know we just talked about their quarterback struggles. I'm just not feeling what's going on in Jacksonville right now. Not really feeling what's going on in Niner country, but so I'll stick with the home team. Mess around. Who we got?
I'm going to go with the depleted 49ers. I just think Chris McCaffrey is going to be too much for him to handle, and he has a big game.
All right. Kevin?
This was another game where I thought about taking my lock, but I changed it right before the show. And I also changed my winner based on what I saw. So I did have the Jags at first winning and as my lock, but I took the 49ers and I changed my lock. So I'm not taking the Niners as my lock either. So.
All right. Tim?
I think I want to see what the Jags defense running team game is going to do against the San Francisco 49ers. They always said when you played the Texans, how do you beat JJ Watt? You run right at him. So you've got a depleted San Francisco 49ers team. I think ETN is what, 3rd or 4th in the league in rushing. I think you don't rely on Charlotte Flair as your quarterback in the backfield for Jacksonville. I think you rely more on ETN. I think ETN's going to be the difference maker in this game. I've got Jacksonville.
Go on, Jay. Chris.
I got San Francisco winning this game.
49ers. All right, so ETN's third overall right now behind Taylor and Cook in running. So, all right, so we got the 1 and 2 Ravens, 2.5 point favorites over the 1 and 2 Chiefs. Mess around, who do you have? Mess around, walked away. Oh, he's coming. He must be making some food before his nap. All right, mess around. Who you got? Ravens versus Chiefs. No, now you're on mute again. There you go.
There you go.
No, there you go. Now you're off.
No, okay. No. Ravens versus who?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Ravens versus Chiefs. My gut says Baltimore, but my heart says Kansas City. I'm going to go with my heart. Go with Chiefs on this one.
Kevin.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna take the Ravens. The Chiefs just, I think, they just have not been themselves. So I'm gonna take the Ravens.
All right, Tim.
So on Kevin's statement alone, that means the Chiefs need a Snickers bar because they must be hungry. But I honestly think this is, and I picked it early this year when we did our predictions. And I said the Chiefs missed the playoffs, and nice enough for them to get the memo from me. So I'm going to continue on with that, and I'm taking the Ravens.
Chris.
I think it's going to be back and forth in this game. Baltimore can have a big lead, but then give it up at the end to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs win.
Because you know why, right, Chris? Because
why?
If you have the lead, you're supposed to keep it.
That's right.
Chris, I'm sorry, you cut out there. Who are you taking?
Chiefs.
Chiefs? Okay.
Kansas City.
I'm making this my lock. I'm taking the Chiefs. I can't see them keep struggling, especially at home. So I got the Chiefs in a lock. So we got the 1 and 2 Bears, a 1.5 point favorites over the 1 and 2 Raiders. Kevin, we get to start with the Bears fan and we get to end this one with the Bears fan. So Kevin, who you got?
You know what? I feel confident. After what I saw last week. I'm taking the Bears, and I'm taking them to be 2 and 2 going into their bye week.
All right. Not confident enough to put them in a lock. All right. Tim.
Nope. Not confident enough.
Oh crap. Yeah, I don't know. At least I'll be honest, I have no clue. I honestly liked what I saw last week with the Bears. Yeah, I've got the Bears going 2 and 2. I see that team's finally on the uptick. I think that offense, Caleb's is getting to the place where everybody thought he was going to be last year. I think the best thing that could have happened for him was get Ben Johnson. I think we're starting to see that upswing in the Bears. So yeah, I'll take the Bears in this game.
Chris?
I'm going to put my chips all in and go with Vegas.
He's going with the Raiders.
You can't put your chips all in. You already used your lock of the week.
I know. I know.
All right. I'm going with the Bears too. I like what I saw. I'm not liking what the Raiders. Raiders are still kind of looking like a team that doesn't know what they want to do with the ball or with their player personnel. I'm going Bears. Mess around, should I even ask?
Can't take the Raiders. I just no, I'm kidding. I'd never pick the Bears, no matter what. Yeah. The only thing that worries me about the Raiders is Bowers, and without TJ Edwards, good covered linebacker. I think if we don't stop him, it's a good chance we lose this game. But and our run game and defense is atrocious. Like Gendy, I think is going to have a big game, but I think the Bears still in the end pull this one out.
I think different. I think the Raiders' offense is going to struggle because that offensive line is atrocious. That offensive line is terrible. But the thing you were talking about, mess around, I don't think TJ Edwards' injury is going to be as bad as the Jalen Johnson injury because they have Jacoby Myers, they have Trey Tucker. We have Tyreek Stevenson. That's it. We lost our best corner. Now we have a guy who celebrates in the end zone and loses games. So, I mean, I if anything's going to hurt us, it's going to be the corners.
Okay. All right, let's talk about some ugly games here. We got one coming up here. We got the 2-1 Packers, 6.5 points favorites over the 1-2 Dallas Cowboys. Tim, whose heart are we breaking?
Not my family. I honestly, not my family at this point. I'm going to tell you right now, the only way the Cowboys win this game is if Green Bay decides to do what they did last week and gift 15 to 16 penalties to the Dallas Cowboys. I think Micah Parsons is going to be a tornado that goes through a trailer park in Dallas. I think this is going to be this is another game where Green Bay plays down to the teams they're facing, and this is Dallas. I hate to say it, but there's going to be more touchdowns by Green Bay in this game because I already used my tornado reference, so I kind of screwed that up. Yeah, this is going to be a close game, but I've got Green Bay.
All right, Chris?
Millions of people watching the Michael Parsons Bowl. I got Green Bay.
Wow.
All right, no more drug tests. I think we came to reality.
Mess around.
Holy wow.
I know Gabe, you love to pick.
I know you love it.
Speaking of hurting the family whose heart you're going to break, you always hurt the ones closest to you, the ones you love. So J-Mac and Ace, I never pick the Packers ever, so it's not going to change this week. I think this is a revenge game. Dallas wants to win this game badly, just show they didn't need Parsons, which, they're high on something because they definitely needed that guy. Dumbest trade ever. Dallas by
we know other dumb trades, but that was a dumb trade.
I've seen a couple dumb trades, but this has got to be number 2, especially if it involves Dallas.
Yeah, I'm also gonna be the heartbreak of a lot of people that I know because I'm going Dallas. I can't see them dropping 2 bad games, so I'm going Cowboys in this one. Kevin,
I kind of agree with what Master was saying that the Cowboys are going to want to prove that they didn't need Parsons. But again, I think Parsons is going to be like, you should have paid me, you dumb idiots.
Yep.
And he's going to go off, and he's going to go absolutely crazy. Could possibly injure Dak Prescott, send him to the bench. And then, Cowboys will start, the Jake Browning 2.0.
Ben DiNucci?
Yeah.
No.
Don't know her. But, I know him. But yeah, I'm taking the Packers to win this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dallas fans I know that want Dak out and Milton in. So, Chris, you shocked me there, man. First you take the Giants as your lock, and then you go against your Cowboys. All right. Did you take and you took the Commanders? What the hell? And you took the Eagles, I think, too. Man, you're really not liking the division.
I think
you took it out today.
I think he took the Commanders too.
Yeah, he took the Commanders.
I took everybody from the East except for Dallas.
Yep. All right, so we got the 0-3 Jets versus the 0-3 Dolphins. Dolphins are 2.5 point favorites. Chris, no, it's me. I'm going Dolphins. I think we're going to get a close game. This is probably a good Monday nighter. There's 2 Monday nights, so this one will be a good game. I think it's going to be low scoring. So I'm going Dolphins. Kevin.
You know what? I'm going opposite. I'm going the Jets, and there's one person and one person only why I'm saying that, and that's Justin Fields. He'll be back.
So Justin Fields is going to win this game. Dart's going to win the Giants game.
Yep.
Okay. Messer, who you got?
I'm picking a tie. Both teams are that bad. I'm picking a tie.
Oh man.
You're going to pick a tie legit?
Legit tie, yes.
All right. We got it here first. We're picking a legit tie in this game. Tim?
Well, I'm going to say something that we usually reserve for another show. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. Mess around. Fool, man. I was going to take the tie too. What the heck? This is oh.
Yes. I wasn't the only one thinking it then.
You weren't the only one taking the tie. I'll let you have that one, and I'll take the Dolphins because I'm like, nobody's gonna take the tie. Nobody's gonna take the tie. The worst game of the whole freaking week, and somebody's not gonna take the tie. And then I forget mess around, just sitting right there.
Wow. Chris?
That's awesome.
I got Miami, but it's so weird that these 2 games that we're picking are like an hour. They start like an hour apart.
Yep.
Am I the only one who went the Jets?
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. We heard it here first. All right. So we got the last game of the week, the 2-1 Bengals versus the 1-2 Dolphins. Or Denver, I'm sorry. I'm still just lost right now. 7.5 point favorite by Denver. Mess around. Who you got?
Man, is the NFL sure they don't want to flex this game out? I mean, you don't got Burrow, the quarterback. Like, seriously, who's going to watch this game? Maybe the Oregon Ducks fans are pulling for bone aches. I got Denver winning by 10.
That's right. Who you got for your lock, by the way? Are you locking your tie in as your lock? I think that's what
lock yeah, let's lock that in as my lock.
All right, we're locking that's a tie in as a lock. Lord. Kevin.
I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to stay up. I'm gonna have to get up really early just to watch that game, just to see the
We're
luck.
gonna have to have J Mac. We're gonna have to tell J Mac that one. He's gonna have to watch the last 3 minutes of this conversation here.
Holy
All right, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you who's going to watch this game, and it's going to be me because you know why? It's my lock of the week, and I'm taking the Broncos.
Denver lock.
That's like me taking the Buffalo Bills.
Hey, Porno, baby.
I've got the Broncos. This is going to be funny. This game, like Mess Around said it best. Can we flex out this game? Heck, can we flex out the only 2 Monday night games in history at this point? Golly, yeah, this game sucks. Hey, but if you're a Broncos fan, everybody's going to be really happy because this is going to be a shellacking.
Wow, calling for a shellacking. All right, Chris?
I don't think it's going to be that, but I do pick the Broncos to win it by 6.
Yeah, I'm taking the Broncos too. I'm still lost in that last one. That's right. I'll tell you what. If that game isn't a tie on your lock, you better go buy a lottery ticket. I don't know what they do in Portland there, but you better go buy yourself a lottery ticket. I'm telling you. So with that being said, there's our picks.
I got some for you.
He's already got it.
He's already got it.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. All right. Tim, let's get to the prime 5.
All right. So
What's
how do you
top
follow
then,
any
man?
of this? How do you follow any of this at this point? I'm going with the primetime Power Five. It's kind of this point. This is basically just watching everything else and going, everything's good. My number 5 team is the Philadelphia Eagles. It's kind of hilarious that they got the 25th best offense, and in the I'm so frustrated now. The 29th best offense and the 13th best defense. How this is a team that shouldn't even be on the top 5, but let alone the top. How this team is 3-0 is still beyond me. My number 4 team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who just happen to be playing the Philadelphia Eagles. They've got the 16th best offense and the 12th best defense. So just on that alone, it should be I think Tampa Bay is surprising a couple people, not anybody in this group, because we all kind of saw this happening. My number 3 team is the Indianapolis Colts, who are also 3-0, who are tied for the first best offense and they have the 5th best defense. This is more of a shock by the fact is they'd be a little higher if they didn't play the Titans and the Dolphins. It'd be a little bit more of the numbers might be a little more skewed on the Colts side because of like I said, they played the Titans and they played the Dolphins. My number 2 team is the LA Chargers. When you've got the 5th best offense and the tied for the 6th best defense, you kind of do what they do, especially the way they played Kansas City week 1, and they haven't really slowed down. And it's kind of obvious who the number 1 team is. I've got the Buffalo Bills. Again, they're tied with the Colts for the first best offense, and they've got the 9th best defense. Basically, it's the Denny Green line. They are who we thought they are. That's exactly what Buffalo is. Exactly who they said they were. They've never changed, and they're just steaming ahead to the playoffs at this point.
All right, Kevin, what you think of his prime 5?
I think it's pretty spot on. That's all I got to say.
Chris?
Yeah, that's a good list. I like it.
All right, mess around.
The only thing I would have done differently, and I know the Eagles have been fortunate to squeak by in some of the games and win, but until somebody knocked off the Super Bowl reigning champions, you got to have the Eagles win.
Yeah, Tim, I'm with everybody else. I think you had nailed it on the prime 5 this week. So, all right, so let's close it out here with our fantasy roundup. I'll tell you right now, I sucked. I got beat every way again. But Tim, how'd you do?
Holy hell. I made the comment last week about that I got beat by Sizzling, then I get beat by Bacon, and then turn around and I don't like Bacon, and then proceeded to get beat by 50. No. And it's like almost like my whole team decided to drop off, and I decided to be the smart guy this week, and I wasn't going to trash talk. And then I sent a text to my brother saying, who's going turtle hunting? And I'm going turtle hunting because my brother's nickname is the Turtle, and I'm going to get crushed. I see it coming. I am absolutely see it coming, and he hasn't said anything yet. But I'm going to say this. He's only going to be happy for one game. If it means it's the fantasy football game, if it's the Dallas Cowboy Packer game that he's going to be happy with, guess what, bud? I will take my rightful spot as being the best fantasy football player in the Hendricks household. So that's some stand up your ass, bud.
All right, Crispy Bacon, how'd you fare out? I mean, I guess we know a little bit, but
Yeah, so far it's 3-0. Hopefully the winning streak continues. Right now, I think I had the Commanders quarterback. I had him as a starter, but then I benched him not benched him, but put him on the sideline because of his injury. But hopefully, it continues the winning streak.
All right, mess around.
I played against my brother and I beat him. I'm not sure by how much, but I won. And I had an injury at running back. Connor's out for the year. I offered Bacon a trade for Dak Prescott for McCaffrey, but he hasn't responded to that one yet.
I haven't.
All right, Kevin. I know you're always looking at your running backs too, but
hold up. Did you just say that you offered him Dak Prescott for Christian McCaffrey?
Only because I know he likes Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah, that's not going through.
That's
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you, but if Chris P. Bacon accepts that, then yes, I'm going to drug test him. All right, if he accepts that,
already for most of the
because that's pretty much just spanking everybody else in the league. Like, oh, here you go. Yeah, you might as well just fuck everybody else because giving up pretty much one of the best running backs for Dak.
Yeah, but he's also injured too, so there's that.
Yeah. I took a dub last week. I was actually going into the Ravens game on Monday night. I was actually projected to lose because he had Zay Flowers and I had St. Brown. And he was beating me by, I think he was beating me by like, oh man, 10 points or something, and he still had Zay Flowers to play. And Zay Flowers kind of stunk it up for him, got him 3.3 points, while St. Brown went on to give me 20.7. So I ended up taking the dub 99.68 to 87.75, bringing my record to 2-1, only losing to Tim still.
It's my only win.
Hey Brandon, thank you for Amari and Hampton. He finally got on the board, 18.6 points. Chuba didn't do crap, 3.3. Neighbors didn't do nothing, 3.3. Probably the biggest mistake I made was I had Cortland Sutton on my bench with 23.8 points. So that kind of hurt. But yeah, this week I think I play one of the Crispy Bacon teams. But it's supposed to be a blowout, it looks like. It doesn't look like he really has much depth on his bench to switch out. So unless everybody on my team gets injured, I think I have a fair chance of being 3-1 next week.
All right. So at the top of each division, we got Crispy Bacon 3-0 at top of the Midwest. Over in the West, we got J Mac and the Blitz Happy at 3-0, tied with the other simulated team of the Cannon Falls Bears. Myself and Dragon Viper are at the bottom of each division with you guys all in the mix there. So we got Crispy Bacon versus myself. Bacon's supposed to win that by 10. We got Tim and the Italian Turtle Hunters facing his brother. His brother's supposed to beat him by about 20, it looks like. Cherry and the neighbor versus Primetime Blitz. Yeah, that's supposed to be a blow up by 30. Mess around and find out. Love the nickname. I guess Tim Fielder, Sargent's team. Tim's picked to win that one. Blitz Happy is going to try to stay perfect again against the Cannonball Bomber by a 4-point game. And then Justin's Scary team versus Dragon Viper. Justin should take care of Dragon Viper's team easily with that one. So that being said, guys, week 4 is just hours away. Mess around. What's your final thoughts?
Final thoughts is I'm glad my internet connection was stable enough to actually do a full show or somewhat full show. And I'm so glad I turned my camera off when I got up to get something to drink because I was walking away. My shorts just fell completely down. Yeah.
All right. Kevin, final thoughts.
Well, I'm glad you turned your camera off too. But we're hoping for still an undefeated lock, hoping for 4-0, but you never know. The Browns beat the Packers. So anything's possible. If you get the Jake Browning from week 2, Broncos could lose. You get Jake Browning from the Vikings game, it's going to be a blowout. I'm also hoping to be 3-1 after, but again, it's fantasy football. Injuries happen, shit happens. I might have to go draft. Might have to go draft that Browns kicker just to name my team Schmidt happens. Yeah, also hoping for the Bears to be 2-2 going into their bye week. I think that would be the best case scenario for the Bears in this, tough division. Go into the bye week, come out, play the Commanders. Don't do what you did last year in Week 6 against Commanders. But yeah, I think, right now, sitting in a good spot fantasy-wise. Bears are, if they can get the job done, sitting in a good spot. And, hopefully come back next week to still have that 4-0 locks.
All right. Crispy Bacon, final thoughts.
Yeah, I think for ranking, you should do a list of top 5 or whatever of fantasy football team names.
Yeah, we can try to find some. I don't know. I mean, that's a good topic there. All right.
Other than that, hopefully Cowboys win and fantasy football goes well.
All right, Tim.
So, Brandon, I've been meaning to ask you. Last week during the Minnesota game, I was hoping this would happen somewhere down the line, that Minnesota would get to this point where Minnesota at one point in that game last week were 33. We're up 33-3.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, can they screw it up like Indy screwed it up against Minnesota 3 years ago? I was kind of slightly hoping for it to happen, and it didn't happen because you know why? They listened to Bacon's words of encouragement. If you get the lead, you keep it. You have to keep it. Why did the Colts not listen to that? Because it wasn't said until then.
Yeah, exactly.
With that
being said, my final thoughts is just keep checking us out. We got, if I remember right, Chris, On Deck coming back this Sunday for playoff preview.
Yeah.
Myself, big game, Greg, yourself, myself, and maybe whoever wants to join. So check that out Sunday. We got C2C Raycom. If you guys haven't heard the news, the St. Paul Bears, the arena team here, and Coach Cody parted ways. But I will have I am setting up an interview with him and his new team, the Calgary Cavalry, or Wyoming Calgary, something like that. So he's still in the arena. He's still coaching. He's going to be assistant there. What else we got between the ropes? Monday night. Again, guys, sorry I didn't make it. I was trying to. I was just under the weather.
Good.
So with that being said, we'll see you guys all next week on Primetime Blitz. Have a good one.